Hello, this is Uncle Jim. In the previous video, I was talking about what I need to do next in a video, and then I got sidetracked again. I just can't stick to the program. So, doing a quickie video here, and then we're done. And back to the program. All right. So, Six-Shooter Texan previously did a video on the circle cutters here in 20 gauge for an overcard for your shot, or you can use them for spacers, whatever. And I just want to add to this and elaborate on some possibilities that this little guy can do. So this is the Craft circle cutter, and I'll show you right here. Anyway, $10.99 shipped, and I tell you what, it is a lifesaver as far as doing it the old way, using like leather punches or a homemade cutter on a piece of wood. It's just, this is night and day. So I had to buy one of these. There's another channel that compared all the different ways to cut cards, and the expensive way and the cheap way. And he even preferred these also. And so these come in different sizes. For 12 gauge, you want the 3/4 inch. And 20 gauge, I believe it's the 5/8 inch. But there's more, and we'll talk about that. So anyway, I got this a little while ago and just tried it out for the first time today. And then we'll try it with some 311 size powder coated buck. Okay? And roll crimp it. This is a huge, huge deal. I love time saving. I love cheap. And we'll talk about what else you can do with this. So when I was doing the H&R for the first time, shooting that, I had to cut them by hand in circles because my other ones weren't the exact size. These were more for filling than it was for capping. All right. So one thing for maintenance-wise, and these are things I'm going to add to Six-Shooter Texans video. It says to sharpen, if it gets dull, use aluminum foil, and then to lube it, use wax paper. So there you go. Cheap, easy, we all have it, right? It says to use 65-pound stock paper, whatever that means. Usually your cereal boxes, whatever, are plenty, I think Six-Shooter Texan measured out the maximum or whatever. So what I found, I just did this morning, before we go on to other videos. What I found that works awesome is this Stouffer's TV dinner. It's got a coating on this side, okay, and it's rigid. And then on the other side, it's white, so you can write down what your load is on the top of the shell. Perfect. So, and cheap. So let me cut a few. This has a little drawer on it, and it doesn't hold very much. So just open the drawer. It's got little arrows each way, and I still don't know how that works. So let's take one of these. And you just slide it through, and you just start cutting them along like that. And it's super fast, super easy. Now this is kind of plasticky. I don't know how long it'll last. It looks like it's pretty reinforced. Okay, and it cuts good. All right. This is the best thing. This is going to save me so much time versus this type of deal. Okay, so you cut your cards, and what is it? The 3/4 is the perfect size. It is perfect. Now these ball are just sticking up. They're a little fat from powder coat, but we're going to roll crimp this one anyway. But if I took out... If I took out some, it'll show you that once it's trimmed, it's the perfect size, perfect diameter. All right, we'll have to fix that later. YouTube struggling. All right, now the other possibilities for this. There's so much you can do. You can get them in up to 3-inch diameter. And so they have like 1.5 inch, 2, you know, they have all the sizes, lots of sizes. So you can make your own targets. All right, so this, I used to get at a place called Creation Station. It was like a surplus place for doing crafty stuff, and they have all kinds of weird stuff. And they had tons of rolls of these that are super cheap. These stickers are about 2 inches. And I'm going to run out of these soon, and I should have bought a ton of them. But now there's no despair because I'm thinking about getting a bigger one of these, maybe a 2-inch and maybe a 3-inch. Now the larger ones cost more. They're about $20, but it's going to last a long time. And what you can do, there's different things you can do. You can take, say this was a 3-inch, and you wanted to halo your red dot at certain ranges, and you had black paper. This is green, of course. And so you can make your target and use a stick glue on your target paper, right? And you have targets of any size you want. They even have little squirrels and stuff, if that's your thing. Now, you can also, I get these at the thrift store. They're liners for your cabinets, you know, and you can get these in black. I really like the black. I just cut out my own targets with this, and it's stick on. Now, how about this? You got shoot and see targets, and you shot half of the target up, but you still have leftover. So why not punch out some patches, okay, and go on and stick these on your shoot and see to save them, you know, cover the patches with a leftover one you have, or just the black sticker or black paper and a glue stick. You're at the outdoor range. This is in your pocket. These are in your pocket. Put a little on the target, stick that on there. Maybe we'll have to test that theory. My mind was going 100 miles an hour this morning, and I was like, you know what? I haven't tried this yet. What else can you do with this? Say you have some super thin packing foam. Now this is a little on the thick side. You can use this for a cushion wad, all right, under your slug or whatever. You can layer them. But in this case, this particular model, it's kind of pushing it because it's snagging on the cutter inside. So that's a shame. But if you had just slightly thinner or a thin piece of cork, the world is your oyster. You can do whatever you want. This video is probably crappy because I'm all over the place. No, I'm not hyperactive, but when I start thinking of stuff, that's how it works. So you can use old stickers. You can use, and I love doing stuff fast and on the cheap and the simplest possible. You can use your junk mail that has different colors. It's pretty thick paper for targets. So I think in the future, I'm going to probably order a 2-inch or a 1 3/4, whatever halos a red dot at certain ranges, a 2 MOA dot, and then get the 3-inch. And I think it's easier to try, instead of trying to unstick something like a sticker, just use the glue stick. And all my targets are printer paper because that's cheap, right? And then for my big targets at 70 yards, I have rolls of butcher paper that I get at thrift stores, whatever. Everything is cheap. So, anyway, let's roll one of these up, and I guess I covered most of it. How to sharpen it, how to lube it, different things you can do. There's all kinds of possibilities. So even this little guy would work for targets, with the scope. But I think I'm going to need some bigger ones to go with this. And again, you can get different varmints. There's animal shapes. There's different shapes. But that was awesome. And this 6-shooter Texan spurred me on to get one of these in 12 gauge, because it's going to just make life so much easier. And it's cheap. All right, let's roll one up and finish the video. Then I'll get back to the other things I was supposed to do today. We've got lots of snow coming, and it's snowing right now. All right. Okay, so for this test, we're going to push the limits. This powder-coated buck, there's 9 of them in here, is to the max, okay? So this might be a tough squeeze. Now, what I could do is cut the pedals off, or some of the pedals off, and then I got plenty of room. But I want to push the limit here just to see if this works. So we're doing a cheap hobo here with the cheap Federal, and using an antique crimper here with the slug muffin mount for the APP mount. All right. So let's see if this will hold. It's sticking out quite a bit, so let me see what happened here. Okay, it's working. All right. Even though we're pushing the limits here, I could cut just the top part of the pedals to make this ball fit, because it's a little oversized after I powder coated it. Okay, we'll do a close-up of that. Okay, it worked, even pushing the limits on payload here. Again, I could take some of the pedals off and I'd have plenty of room. And for the single shot, this is going to hold together really well. If I had trimmed it perfectly, it would have come out perfectly, but that thing is in there and it's going to shoot really good in the single shots. In the pump shotgun, I'd have a little more aggressive crimp on there and, get the height right and everything. In this case, the powder-coated ball was pushing it for the size of this, but it was just fine. So here's the name of the company of this cutter, and everything was done on the cheap. Even the roll crimper, that was like what, $5-10. So I love cheap, I love simple and quick, and that wasn't bad. Hope you found this interesting. Now we'll go back to our original programs. Until next time, thanks for watching.